Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. I, doing the seeing and being glad, and Bill Sylvie, a.k.a. the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live on a Monday evening. It's Monday, and that means we got to start over, but that's okay. We can have a lot of fun. Jay Tyler, Michael Mertig, Lightmane, Michael Dale, Christopher Sackle, QPF. How is everyone? And I hope you're having really, really lovely evening, Jay Tyler also. But anyway, hello to you all. I hope you had a good weekend. I had a pretty good one. We did Nerd Council of Doom, and that was a bunch of fun. We did that on Saturday. That was over on the Dungeon Ministers channel. You should definitely go check it out. If you haven't seen, then I really do recommend you go check it out. We had a lot of fun talking about important nerd things of the day. And, you know, I got to let my hair down and have a lot of fun hanging out with Yang and Father Aaron. And that was a whole lot of fun. If you like that kind of thing, guys, if you're interested in live streams about important nerd topics, whether it is Dungeons and Dragons or something else like that, and you haven't already, please do click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications to let you know when exactly we're going to be doing all the fun stuff that we enjoy doing so very, very much right here on this channel. And that's how you'll find out. Because it's not just the live stream. It's not just 5 nights a week of tabletop RPG live streams. But as news occurs that impacts us across this broad spectrum of tabletop gaming, I'll release little interstitial videos and bring you that information. So you'll find out about all those wonderful things if you subscribe. And if you'd like to support our channel, you can see it in red and white right down there. You can support us on Patreon. You can become a YouTube member. At the $10 level, you will receive every month a first edition advanced Dungeons & Dragons adventure, a module, if you will, suitable for framing, playing, lining your hamster cage with, whatever you want to do. But you can support us for as little as $1 a month if you just want to kind of come along for the ride. Now, there have been some requests in the past to up the ante, and I've upped my standards, so up yours. Debuting probably by the end of the week. You knock on wood when I say that. Debuting probably by the end of the week. We will be adding a new tier. That's right. Yes, it'll cost more money, but I hope people will find that it's worth their time. So anyway, more on that as it develops. Now this week, this week coming up here, tomorrow night, we're going to play some first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons. That's right. For your education, for your entertainment, we are going to play first edition AD&D. And what do I mean by your education? Well, once upon a time, when we first started doing the live streams of playing AD&D, it came at the tail end of a long series of videos about how to play first edition AD&D. And I thought, well, what better than to get together a few volunteers and run a demo game? And then the demo game became 2 demo games. And then the demo game became 4. And then it became a campaign. And then it just started becoming bigger and bigger. And you guys liked it more and more. We started this like in the afternoons, for goodness sake. We started this at like lunch on Tuesdays. And it just kind of evolved into this thing that we do Tuesday nights for 2 hours, and we've got a pretty good stable of players, but that's not why I bring it up. The reason why I bring it up is this. It's not a passive thing, guys. If you have a question about why we play, how we play, and what we do, and what goes on in first edition AD&D, a mechanic, a background, something about the characters, anything like that, ask in the chat and I'll do my best to answer the question for you. And if I don't, somebody else in the chat might. I've got a pretty good audience out there. So it's not just a thing where you just come and you sit and you listen to other people play D&D. I get it. That's not people's jam, right? Like I've seen other people do Let's Plays where it's literally just like the acknowledgement you might get is, oh, so-and-so's joined us, thank you. You know, and then they go back on. I want to bring to you guys the whole experience. And if you don't understand it, then ask. Then ask. And I'll do my best to answer. But I am DMing a game. Generally speaking, the more you can get out of it, the more the more you watch, the more you'll get out of it. Odds are your question will be answered as we play, but that's not to say I won't answer it. I probably will answer it. Michael Mertig has a question. Where do I get, or how do I get my ideas for my modules? Michael, to be honest, I just muse on things. I'm a little stuck right now for the April module, which is overdue. It's late. I get it. But I've got a pretty good idea. I've got a pretty good outline. So April and then May. I don't want to get stacked up too far, but April and May are coming. Soon, Vaughn, soon. And you lost me? I'm right here. My internet's still up. I'm still connected. Hopefully next week. Hopefully next week. I don't want to put it off too much longer because I don't want to get 2 modules behind. So it's coming soon. Rest assured. Let me adjust myself. It is coming soon. And thank you all for your patience. But April and May will come in the next couple of weeks. And you'll get those adventure modules. But anyhow, so that is a thing. That is a service that is offered. So moving along, moving things up. So yeah, Tuesday, let's play AD&D together. Wednesday is Kyle's thing. Who knows what Kyle's going to do? I don't think even Kyle knows what he's going to do. Thursday is the slot we normally reserve for guests. I need to talk to our potential guest. So I will let you guys know. I don't want to confirm anything just yet. Last week we had Sky Hernstrom on, and that was just stupid fun. That was loads of fun having Sky on the show. This week I need to double check my calendar. As I was sitting down, I was like, hey, I need to, oh crap, I can't remember. Did I talk to that person yet? So I will reach out to them. TXG, great old ones, Ian Bartosh Wise. Hello to you all. But anyway, so that's what our Thursday slot is normally. Now, if I don't have that time, those hours on Thursday is reserved, I do have a backup plan. Yes, I do. It's time for another classic D&D product deep dive. Friday night, we're playing Gamma World. We will be without Yang for at least a few weeks. He is headed to the Far East, so hopefully he will be rejoining us before too much longer. But that's the plan for Friday. Now Saturday, I ain't doing anything with y'all. Y'all can go find stuff to do on your own on Saturday. But Sunday, I will be streaming. I won't be streaming. Rather, let me rephrase that. I will be on a stream. I will be streamed. Harmony Ginger over on her YouTube channel has very generously asked if I would come onto her show and talk to her about stuff. So I'm going to go and I'm going to be on her channel on Sunday evening at 7. I will update you guys with a link when I find it. Please go and check that video out. If you are subscribed to her, set yourself a reminder. If you're not, I will drop the link for you guys. Harmony is very nice. Have I made it? No, I am printing tanks for Don McVitie, and it is a slow process. And I need to dig into my 3D printer tomorrow, and because it had problems with the T-35. If you know your World War II history, you know what a T-35 is. It was just a beast of a tank. The Russians built like 30 or 40 of them, and they were a ridiculous joke. They had a crew of 11. They were true land battleships, okay? They were like that thing, like when you see in a cartoon. They're like a cartoon tank. And so that's what I've been doing with 3D printing, unfortunately. So I haven't been printing any fun stuff. Jay Tyler asks, how do I handle characters that plane shift to strange planes, non-material plane types? Well, I'm glad you asked me that, Jay Tyler. Once upon a time, this is, gosh, almost a decade ago now. No, it would have been further back than that. At any rate, the group that I was running through got down to the 4th level of the Temple of Elemental Evil, and they went to the air node. Not the air temple level, the air node. And there's two basically teleporter pads. And one of them teleports you to the elemental plane of air. And so one character stepped through the teleporter and disappeared. And the rest of the party lined up. Now, the way the module words it, because they lined up and they walked through, the way the module words it is that character disappears into the planes and is forevermore lost. And I was like, there's nothing in the elemental plane of air. There is nothing in the elemental plane of air that is at least directly inimical to human life. It's air. You can breathe it. There's going to be clouds, so there's going to be some vapor. There's got to be like cloud islands with castles on them and stuff like that. So I said, okay, well, that's where you are. And they adventured there. And that's what we did. I had an adventure on the elemental plane of air. As far as non-linear aspects of landscapes, I was just like, there is no up, there is no down, there's no left, there's no right. I tried to envision the environment of The Smoke Ring by Larry Niven, or The Integral Trees, if you've read either one of those novels. So eventually, now because the party went through in rapid succession, they used a rope of climbing to lash themselves together until they drifted near to an island in the sky. that had been created by travelers who had gone into the dimension, and they had used various creation spells, wishes, and that sort of thing to make an island. And there were evil cloud giants, and it was a lot of fun, actually. It was a lot of fun. So that's what I did. So let's see. No, I do not have a Russian cat voice thing over here. It doesn't have that many voice features. Really, it is a power supply and a pass-through for a 48-volt mic. I know I have fun with it because I can do a few voice changes, but really, it's like a $30 board. It is not fancy. Yeah, Jay, that's what I did. Have I discovered anything cool for the 50th that would be new to you? I don't know, Michael. I'm sorry. Who is it? Yes, that was Michael. Things kind of jumped up for a second. So I'm not. What would be cool to you? I was really enthused about WizKids Minis until last week. I've already pre-ordered their Holmes Basic Red Dragon mini. So I guess when I have some minis to show you guys for Monday, I know on Mondays we've often done miniature reviews, and I haven't done that in a few weeks. I hope to get back to that. I just haven't had anything to show you guys. It's really good and really neat. But I think hopefully when that drops, and to be sure, I already spent the money. I bought it on IGN's web store. I already spent the money months ago. And it ships in like July. Yeah, there are the stamps. I haven't seen the stamps yet, and I've asked about them. When I've been in the post office, I have asked about the stamps, but they don't have them yet. You know what? When they get them, I will showcase them. I will showcase them on the show. I'll probably do like just a brief interstitial video. I wonder if neutral clouds have no care. I don't follow what you're saying, Jorge. Wait. No, I've spent the money on it. It's a nice looking little tribute piece. I'll put it on the shelf and that'll be it. And neutral clouds have no charge. Maybe not. Michael's still crazy about the minis. The Black Griff Morgan posted Holmes for Pirate. Oh, okay. Well, he can do that if he wants. He can absolutely do it. This actually came up on the Discord. And I'm going to reiterate this. I'm not scolding anyone, guys. I'm not getting on anyone's case, but just in case you happen to use the Discord, or you regularly participate in the live streams, or you leave comments under videos, or, well, I can't really control what you might or might not do on Twitter, but any community that I have control of, do not, please, I will say please do not share links to things that are for sale and someone else's intellectual property. The sole exception is when there is something that is complete unobtainium. There's not a scan of it. There will never be a scan of it. The tournament Lost Caverns, the tournament forgot Hidden Shrine of Tamokon, etc. Stuff that we know is never going to be in print again, right? Don't post up links to that, and don't ask for links to that. Google is pretty smart, and if you know your way around bullying stuff, you can find it just like that. So please don't do that. Yeah, I do not want a copyright strike. You know, the last thing I need is somebody to come in and say, hey, his Discord's a haven for piracy. Because we have seen Discord will bring the hammer down just like that. So absolutely, you know, go out there, and I mean, the whole of OD&D is available on DriveThru for $9.99, I think, as a PDF. I could be wrong. I'm not going to go digging for it right now. Are there other ways to get it? Probably. Yeah, exactly, Will. Yeah. Discord is worse than YouTube. And Discord is in the vest pockets of all the wrong people. It is very compromised. So watch your P's and Q's. Hey, Ultra American TTRPGer, good to see you. What old Mark Morrison wants to know what my favorite monster is. My favorite monster, as far as villainous thing to use on a party, is probably the huge ancient red dragon. The hard. 88 hit points, 88 points of breath damage, spells, low armor class, 6 to 36 bite, those claw attacks, that flying capability, sees invisible, saves as a 17th level character. I love the huge ancient red dragon. There's no beating it, really, as far as a monster. It's a classic for a reason. It's the 55 Chevy of monsters for a good reason. Yeah, some friends of mine use Gilded. I haven't really gotten into Gilded, and I don't want to. I don't. It's no. If guys, if you're using Gilded and you're getting a lot of fun out of it, that's awesome. I just don't need another social media thing. And if I completely dropped Discord, which trust me, I've been close. But like, if I completely dropped one social media, I would pick another one up. Like, I barely touch Facebook anymore. I have next to zero interest in Facebook. Facebook is the dead mall. It is the dead suburban mall of social media. The spider. The spider is loose in the theater. Beware of the spider. Face borscht. I see what you did there. I like it. But yeah, no love for Facebook. I enjoy the hell out of Twitter. Twitter is a great place to follow me. I'm going to put this up here right now. That's me. You can here, I'll do the if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me right there at A Dungeon. I should put that in like the spiel down there. Oh, Spider, I'm glad you're okay, man. The tensile strength of the spider web is not to be underestimated. So yeah, I have a lot of fun on TTRPG Twitter. And that's not like a special thing you have to hunt down. Just if you follow me and then start following the people that I follow, you'll be in TTRPG Twitter, and it's fun. And sanitize, you got to sanitize your Twitter feeds, and I've talked about that before. You just follow the people. Don't click. You say, trending. This politician's underpants. Don't click on it. Don't click on it, or Twitter's going to go, that's what they want to see. More of that. Don't get involved in arguments about green or purple. I've had people like get mad at me on Twitter because I reject politics in tabletop RPGs. Too bad. Too bad. The world's an ugly place. I don't like political discussions. And those of you on the Discord, y'all don't know how lucky y'all are. But I don't like that. Okay, so I am, but honestly, I don't think like the UI for the communities, I'm on a few, I've joined a few, but their UI is really wonky. Like Twitter wants to have like forums, but like if you, okay, well, we're going to invite you into AD&D creators. I think that's a group I'm in, or so, that one or two people invited me to their D&D what do you call it, on Twitter, and I've joined them and I've gone, oh, this is cool, I want to share this. Nope, you're not the creator, you can't share anything in here. They can put stuff up and you can like it or not. What's the use in that? So they need, hey, Darth Brooks, they need to somehow finagle that so it is an actual community and it's not just, it's personally, I think conversational threads in Twitter where like I'll post something and then there's like a dozen responses under it, that works just as fine because you get notifications when people respond. But I do know about the Twitter groups. I just don't find them easy to use. As Bill starts off, vinyl versus 8-track beef on Twitter. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. 8-track is jank. I'm sorry, tape medium is just jank. We can talk about the virtues of vinyl versus the convenience of digital, but dudes, tape medium is just jank. All right. We have to rub this iron oxide surface over this steel surface constantly, and the tape can get stretched out or eaten by the mechanism. And 8-tracks have got that foam pad in there that can disintegrate. Nah, total jank. You guys are talking about Aboleth. Aboleth weirded me out. I got a Monster Manual too as a Christmas present from my then girlfriend all the way back in 85 or something like that, 86. And yeah, I would like, bam, open it up right there. Okay, this thing looks like a silverfish crossed with a catfish with unibeam headlights and all of the, just like these hideous powers. Will Martin, I'll agree with like DLT cartridges, like, that you'd put in a fiber channel SCSI box for backups or something like that, but only in controlled environments, right? That's it. Nobody's ever going to release a DLT drive for your car, and rightly so. I think it's a little more than an underwater mind flayer, although the jury's out on how awful, how god awful one is versus the other. One wants to turn you into a puddle of slime and make you its eternal slave living in agony, and the other one wants to eat your brain. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And yeah, it has all the psychic powers of a mind flayer. Might have it a sore point if I've ever had to deal with DAT backup tapes. I used to handle DAT a lot in my various enterprise IT jobs. Yes, I have handled DAT. And from a data backup standpoint, it made perfect sense. Who would win in a fight? I'm going to give it to the Aboleth. The Aboleth's going to feel the Mind Flayer coming, bring its defenses up, and then all the Mind Flayer's got are those tentacles that, like, it has to get within melee range, and the Aboleth's got like 20 feet of SWAT. Oh, you're turned into slime. So yeah, I'm giving the edge to the Aboleth. That's what I'm saying. And that's if the Mind Flayer doesn't send. That's an Aboleth. Let's not do that. Yes, precisely. I mean, I would, that to me, that would be like, I don't know, Darth Vader versus the Lochnar. If he handles that thing, he's going to dissolve. He's going to be like, the Force is strong in this thing. And then just avoid it. The reason Aboleth say mind flayers is because they don't remember them being created because they came from the far future. That's a lot of that's a lot of lore that did you write that up, Will, or is that from second edition or late first edition? Do you have a monster get giddy about bringing out, or one you can't wait for your PCs to run into? Any demons and devils. Just love the idea of them nascently sitting there making their plans. I had some big plans for the party and an NPC for my Monday night game, but the player who was enamored of that NPC left, and I said that the NPC departs with them and they have their happily ever after. For many, 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 many reasons, I did that. Gazebos. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a given. You know who? And a Lovecraftian old god waiting for my group. I've got I don't know, Robert. I don't know. My Monday night group, I'm running GDQ for them. I'll be doing that in a little while tonight, actually, for the Monday group. I don't know that we're like Loth is really cool. I mean, there's a voice actress, like a legitimate voice actress who I've been talking about doing VA work for Loth in the game. And I'm so excited by the idea, even if the party ends up not facing Loth, like I'll have her voice a Clavdra, maybe. That came from the Book of Madness in 3.5, but it's in reference in this. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I haven't really gone that far down the rabbit hole. So I don't know if I'll go with Gary's original idea, which is okay. So it's time for some spoiler actions, because I know nobody in my Monday night group watches my live streams. The reason the Giants are doing what they're doing, and the reason that the party will pursue the Drow through the Descent into the Depths, Shrine of Kutoa, Vault of the Drow, has little to do with Loth. Loth and her adherents are patsies set up by Eclavdra. Eclavdra is not an adherent to Loth. Eclavdra worships an elder elemental god. Now, this has nothing to do with the Temple of Elemental Evil per se. Elder elemental god, like a Cthulhu-like being. That is correct, Michael. I don't play Michael Dale. That is correct. Michael Mertig. I don't play IDM, so I don't have a character in that game. I have all the characters and none of the characters. Anyway, so to get back to Loth, once the party, let me take a step back. The whole purpose behind the giant raids were not to overtake Jeff. They were to sucker in a powerful party to come into the city of Area Sinlu and either destroy all of the drow who worship Loth, or to jump through the Great Fane of Loth, wind up in the demon web pits, and kill Loth there, destroying her, thus cutting the drow worshippers on the prime material plane off from any divine abilities. It will leave Eclavdra totally in control of Area Sinlu, and that'll be the end of it for that particular faction of drow. If the party susses this out, they may actually end up not killing Loth, but instead, because let me tell you something, Loth is bad. She is very, very naughty. She is very, very naughty. However, what Eclavdra worships is so much worse. Loth is chaotic evil, which when I was a kid, I used to think was the worst evil. Neutral evil is the worst evil, and what Eclavdra worships is more powerful than Loth and is neutral evil, and it's on the prime material plane in the sunless sea. So you see where killing Loth actually plays directly into Eclavdra's hands. So I don't know that the party will actually end up going through the Fane to try and destroy Loth. So we'll just have to see. Also, she's kind of a pushover, if I'm being honest. Michael Mertig talking, it was the most powerful CR monster's toughest battle. And not. That is correct. No, this is not a Dragon Con t-shirt. I got this the last time I was in Bossing Say. I got this at the Jasmine Dragon, the great tea shop of Bossing Say. Now that the war's over and I can freely travel to the Earth Kingdom, I had to visit the greatest tea house in the greatest city of the Earth Kingdom. So anyway, Michael Mertig asks if the Drider is a Loth creation. Yes. Loth has tests that she puts high priestesses and high-level male warriors to. And if they fail those tests, she warps their bodies into Driders, which makes them insane, irredeemably insane. And not even Drow want anything to do with Driders much. They're useful warriors. They retain their spell casting abilities and their natural spell like stuff, but they're pretty bad after that. And she does have AC -10. Yeah, I can't remember if her armor, if it's 0 in beautiful Drow or beautiful human form. And that's skipped in all later entries. Sometimes Loth will appear as a beautiful human, not just as a beautiful Drow. But yeah, so it's I think it's 0 as Drow or human, and -10 in her grotesque spider form. I think we've talked about this before. Only 66 hit points, but she can instantly regenerate that thrice daily. So effectively, she really has 178 hit points. Wait, is that right? No, 198 hit points. But I think we talked about this before. In case we didn't, but Loth and her minions, I firmly believe. Good night, Mark. Be well. I firmly believe that Loth and her handmaidens, the Yochlol, are. Gary took those from Asian myths, from Japanese myths. The yokai are formless, ghost-like beings that can appear as maidens or just as columns of smoke, ghostly figures. There are shrine spirits that are spiders with the faces of women. Does this sound familiar? I honestly and truly think that Gary took those myths and ported them over to the Drow. Yeah, exactly, Will. That's what I'm talking about. Hello, Fabiano. But if we look at this, Buddhist myth of a spider's threads extending to hell to redeem a single soul. Yeah, I mean, and Gary was very into Asian themes in D&D. I mean, you know, you've got the ogre magi. Look at how hobgoblins are outfitted. You've got the Naga. Chinese vampires are mentioned in the entry for vampire in the monster manual. I don't know, Will. That one I don't know about. Let me take a quick gander here. But anyway, yeah, I do absolutely think that. What is that? Evil entity. So here's what Wikipedia has to say. Japanese mythology, Amatsu Mikaboshi, interpretable as either Dread Star of Heaven or August Star of Heaven, August Star of Heaven, also called Amino Kagase-o, interpretable as Scarecrow, Bale of Heaven, or Brilliant Male. I'm not going to go through all those names. Originally a rebellious Shinto god, possibly malevolent, who would not submit to the will of the other gods. Under a Chinese Buddhist influence, the god was identified as Myokin, either of the pole star or Venus, before being combined with all the other with the god of all stars, Divine Lord of the Middle Heavens. In some versions, he was born from. Let's see. I mean, yeah, you could kind of play around with this a little bit. Maybe. I don't know that it necessarily applies to all things, but it's an interesting it's an interesting possibility. I would not be above continuing to mix those things. That's the beauty of AD&D, you know. There's so much that's left to interpretation. There's so much that's left to us as players to decide what works and what doesn't. The whole drow culture is cool to read up on. Males are lower, females run houses of warring families. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're quite welcome, Michael. You are quite welcome. So, yeah, but to get back to the crux of the argument, when you guys were talking about villains, like, I would love to see the party fight Loth. Would they win? I don't know. I would love to see the party fight lots of things. I don't know that they'd win. But with regard to playing against Jess, I don't know if they'll face her. I don't know what path they'll follow. I mean, when you finish off Loth and her plane dissolves and your party is scattered and they return to the prime material plane, you know, finding out, well, you've released something even worse. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I just gave them their first big sachet of XP today. I was sitting down and calculating all that out. And I honestly, there were a couple of fights where I took such poor notes, I had to kind of guesstimate. So I need to get back on the stick as far as taking good notes. Mummy Lord, this is the last living for Lovecraft. So we'll see. We'll just see how that opens once we get there. We've got a long, long way to go. G2 is going to be a bear. If you guys remember looking at the map for G2, woof, what a mess. Those caverns, man, to explain. Okay, it kind of like if you it looks like you know how when your finger's been in the water you've been doing the dishes and your finger wrinkles up. That's what the cavern looks like. Like do that. Like get your finger really wet and let it pucker up. That's what that cavern looks like. I'm not looking forward to do that. Could you run AD&D on a modern day setting like the movie Bright? I don't know the movie Bright, but absolutely, there's 2 tools that will let you do that. One is 6 Guns and Sorcery, which introduces firearms. The other is Mutants and Magic, which backports some the ability to use some tech from Gamma World. So you can do that, and you can bring in stuff from S3 Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. No, I don't know anything about Menser Bananarama. I'm sorry, I don't. When people talk about, ooh, the Underdark, I'm like, what? Do you mean the depths of the earth? Do you mean Harry Sinlu? The eternal city of the Drow? Sorry, I don't know those. Do I ever pull out IRL deities or heroes from deities and demigods? If you're asking me if I've had deities show up in my games, yes, I have. But anyway, yeah, with those two, you could do a passable modern day AD&D setting. I mean, just figure out what the armor class for a car would be. Would it need to make a saving throw versus Dragon's Breath? Michael missed the NCOD. You wanted to ask about the new Space Ghost comic telling the story of how he became Space Ghost. Jan Jason Blip joining. I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. Yeah, nope. Space Ghost was one of those weird cartoons that came on early Saturday morning when I was a kid, usually on TBS, which is ironic considering it ended up being broadcast on Cartoon Network, which was a Turner thing back once upon a time. Whoa, the spider's got his internet accelerator on, I see. But yeah, hello, Wheeling Dragon. Hope you are able to rejoin us again soon. But anyway, it could be a cruel summer indeed, leaving me here on my own. So yeah, I didn't really do Space Ghost lore. It was always like, you get a Herculoids, a Space Ghost, and then another Herculoids, or a Space Ghost, a Herculoids, and then another Space Ghost. You know how it was. Well, you do that. You do that, Wheelie. Well, they're on two different planes. The quote unquote Underdark and Menser Bananarama is in whatever for Forgotten Realms, and I don't really run Forgotten Realms as a campaign setting, so it couldn't really help you there. So let's see. We've talked about the Drow. Oh yeah, no, I was talking about. Did a lot of calculations for XP today. It's the first time the party has had a break, and then I'm giving them back their some time to breathe, so they're getting XP. So far, for clearing off the upper level of the steading with the size party they have gotten about 9,800 per character. That's not counting treasure. Yeah, Ed Greenwood's Magical Realm. Yeah, I never really. I just like I can't objectively like Forgotten Realms. I'm sure Ed's an awesome dude, and I know he's done some great interviews with creators here on YouTube, and people have even said, hey, you should reach out to Ed Greenwood and have him on your show. How do I have him on the show and say, I don't like Forgotten Realms? I don't. It's not a slam on him. It's just not my cup of tea. Have I always loved Greyhawk so much that you never ventured out, or have I dabbled in other settings, either as a player or DM? I have. I love Greyhawk the most. There are other settings I will try. I've got everything I need here. Generally speaking, when I run things, I want to run Greyhawk. And if I'm running in somebody else's campaign, I always feel like I'm on railroad tracks. Like, oh, okay, Well, my character wants to. Well, you see here in Forgotten Realms, that's already been done. Oh, okay. Well, in Dragonlance, your character wouldn't really do that. Anyway. Okay. And it's not a case of me wanting to be that guy. Because to be honest, I don't play that often anyway. Right? No, Vaughn, they're vastly different places in the way they're laid out. All right. I thought I'd explained this before, but I'll go again. I haven't looked that much into Judges Guild, the Spider. Greyhawk is a map with some city suggestions and a tiny bit of lore, just a few paragraphs here and there about how kingdoms have interacted with each other and a few personalities. Forgotten Realms is drink from the fire hose, man. And so is Dragonlance. But Bill, you could just ignore all that. You can make it any way you want to. You could just not have those things happen. And then why don't I just play Greyhawk? Why don't I just, it's the same argument with Castles and Crusades. Hey, man, you should just try Castles and Crusades. Yeah, but, I like this, and this, and this, and this, and this about AD&D. Well, just do that. Do it that way in Castles and Crusades. Okay, but after I've done all that, why don't I just save myself a lot of legwork and play AD&D? It's no meta plot, nothing like that. Hello, Doc Flamingo. Good to see you. Yeah, Jorge, you know what? I'm going to agree with you 110% on that. Yeah. If you said, look, you gotta go play in a Forgotten Realms game. It's going to be run by somebody using WotC material or Ed Greenwood using AD&D material. I'd be like, hello, Ed. World of Darkness. I wouldn't have suspected it. By the way, the first 3 fantasy campaigns all have colors in their name. Brownstein is literally brown stone. Blackmoor, Grey Hawk. There you go. Merp with his spectacular critical hits. Anyway, God, we're clocking in at almost 40. What is Mork Borg all about? Mork Borg is like, it's like black metal basic D&D. If I'm being completely honest, it's like a crap sack, horrible world. Like, my character will reach for the cup of tea. Roll a d6. I rolled a 2. The cup shatters in your hand. The tea causes an immediate infection. Your arm begins to rot off. You contemplate unaliving yourself because of the miserable world you're in. A child sees the horror and turns to run and sprints out into the street and is trampled into the mud and crushed by a horse. Goddamn, dude. I just wanted my character to have a drink of tea. That's Mork Borg. That in a nutshell. Yeah, I think a lot of FP and Mork Borg are kind of cut from the same. Yeah, it's Death Clock. It's D&D, but one of the D's stands for Death Clock. I have this stack of Mork Borg stuff in a tote around here somewhere, and there's actually a vinyl EP in one of the Morkborg books. Like literally, it's shrink wrapped, and there's a 7-inch extended play with like 4 or 5 death metal tracks on it. I have no interest in it, but it's there. Yeah, unfortunately. Christopher, I tell you what, I actually have an incredible, and I've shown this to you guys before, but I have an incredible PDF of the Greyhawk map. Who made this thing? I can't remember the person who put it together, but it is a perfect Greyhawk map. Anna Meyer or Anna B. Meyer Greyhawk map. The thing's like 197 megs, but if you take that to a print shop, like it's a very, 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 very high resolution scan of the Greyhawk map, and it is wonderful. It is wonderful. Yeah, Michael Dale knows what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find it real quick, and I'll link it because you should have it. Let me see. This thing is ginormous. Maybe that's not it. I think that, okay, let's see. Is this it? No, that's not it. I'll try and find it for you guys because it's friggin' awesome. Is that it? Okay, here we go. Scruffy Grognard. I said Anna B. Meyer. Her map is nice, but if you're still on dial-up, don't do anything. Just don't do anything. scruffygrognard.com/GH. It's right there. It is a seamless full-size rendition of the map. You can download it. I recommend it. Have I seen Malden's Greyhawk website where he talks about the codex in the Infinite Planes? I probably passed by it a couple of times. My go-to is Alan Grohe, Grodog's Greyhawk. He's talked to Gary and Rob Kuntz. Did I used to play Blood Bowl? I played it a few times. I never had my own team. It was always one of those things. I think Blood Bowl clocked in at like $30 or $40, a fairly princely sum once upon a time. And I was more I didn't mind it. Like it was dumb fun. But I haven't touched it in probably almost 30 years now. Oh my gosh, I accidentally clicked the map. Oh no. I'm gonna go back. I'm not doing that. Sorry. Oh, I didn't know that. You learned something. Thank you, Doomsword, for telling me that. Have I ever dropped Blankmare in a Greyhawk? Nope. I sure have not. I mean, there is like a crossroad to the plains because there's like a whole section of Fafhrd and Grey Mouser stories that take place in the historic Middle East. Like they get sent through these caverns by Shilba and Ningable and find themselves in like, is it ancient Mesopotamia or something? So it's not as though I would never do it, but there's just enough stuff going on in the city of Greyhawk and other things. By the way, in case you were, anybody who's interested, in case you were wondering, as far as longitude and latitude goes, yes, the near dive looks like Lake Superior. Greyhawk is about where Chicago is. It gets and stays cold up there for a long time. You've pretty much got to get down to the Densac Gulf before you start talking about like really warm, really long summers. Like if we went to the Greyhawk weather predictor and punched in the approximate current date, the nights are still going to be in like the 40s. So no gray mouse. So yeah, grab that Greyhawk map. If you have the pod of the folio and you want a good map, you take this, stick it on a flash drive, take it to Office Depot, your local print shop, wherever you can get and say, hey, I want this laminated, full bore. Boom, you're done. Yes, Nasir. Yeah, Nasir. He cares not for whom he cheats. Don't buy copper from him. Adept's Gambit. Yes, thank you, Robert Phillips. That's the story. That is the one. So we'll probably go for a little bit more. We've got a Nasir has customer service. Not good customer service. Anyway, we'll go for a little bit longer. I got that Monday night game coming up. Got to get ready for that. The Larry Elmore Red Box song. You lost me there, Dooms. Yeah, that's more like Asus customer service, which, by the way, so any of you guys that fiddle around with computer stuff, oh, dear Lord, Asus has got themselves in just such hot water with their customers. Whether anything good will come of it, I don't know. Blarg, that is awesome. Got so excited. My first game, I hand sewed a medieval tunic and dyed it. That is cool. That is very, very cool. If you follow me on Twitter, Blarg, I want to see pictures of that. I would really like to see pictures of that. I would really, really like to see that. I gotta get logged into Twitter over here. The last time, so this, yeah, okay. So we got completely distracted here, but I'm gonna address this. Yeah, Asus is evil. Like a guy sent his card in. Asus said, yeah, your power connector is broken. He's like, well, it's not really, just the little retention clip on the power connector was $4,000. I only paid $2,300 for the 4090. Yeah, but it's $4,000. We might send you back a disassembled card that doesn't work anymore if you don't agree for us to service it. That's like cartoon villainy from those guys. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got way off track. It's awful. No, I need to get logged into Twitter over here, but the reason I don't is I remember like I had Twitter up over here, because it's important, because stuff can pop up when I'm live streaming, or sometimes when I do an interstitial video, my source will come from Twitter, and then we'll like, oh, let's look at the reactions on Twitter. Now let's go over here and look at this. I was sitting over here one night getting ready for a show or something, and Twitter basically said, yo, this is suspicious activity. We're completely suspending your account, dog. Like, totally. We're just suspending your account. If you want it back, do this. And like, it was so freaking weird. I thought it was phishing. I thought, like, okay, this computer is compromised somehow. And someone is compromised. They're trying to phish my Twitter info out of me. And I didn't do anything over here. And so I went over there to my editing PC, and it was the same thing. DXG, that's fantastic. That's amazing. I love to hear stories like that. Positive stories. Positive stories. But no, when I got back on my editing PC, my Twitter account was, I had to do the Voight Kampf test from Blade Runner. It was bonkers what I had to do. And when I got it back, it said I was following 0. And I was limited. Like, I couldn't put images in my post for a few hours. And ever since then, my follower growth has been in the toilet. I went from tens of thousands of views and so much engagement on my post to next to nothing. I got choked off by Twitter. Very disappointing. Yeah, I probably said something in defense of AD&D that somebody didn't like. But anyway, back to positivity. TXG says, unfortunately, the player's handbook is quite a bit more, at least double, I guess. Yeah. I mean, so you figure 2 books, 35 and 70, 105, they come out to a little over 50. That's kind of in line with modern day RPG books. So you didn't really take, you didn't really take that much of a bath. I think you didn't really take that much of a bath. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know that it's below cover price adjusted for inflation, but I think it is probably, again, it would be in line with modern RPG books. Now, the reprints are about $35 a piece. So it's probably about 20-25% more, but you have that glorious original art. Was it the Ifrit cover, or was it the Dungeon Master's Gate cover, TXG? Yeah, eBay is bonkers. Don't buy your friggin' AD&D books on eBay. Just at a glance here. Just at a glance. There's the reprint, which is somebody just selling the reprint. Someone selling the reprint. They went and got a pod copy and now they're flipping it, which is fine. And it's up to you. But like, here's one for 75. There's one for 62. Let's just go to buy it now. Let's just buy it now rather than auction. 75. There's an Easily cover for 45 plus shipping. That ain't bad. So it's a little bit better, but and here's one for $79.99 plus $4.80 shipping. And then here's somebody wants 150 and 99 and 82 and 109, 341 plus 20 shipping. Yeah, so eBay is kind of bonkers. Don't eBay. Don't eBay. Cover with a guy with a key on his neck, hooded robe, and the big. Okay, so you got an Easley cover there. Nice, $35 for a David Sutherland cover is really great. Is really great. That's awesome. Well, I'm gonna have to wrap up here, guys. I gotta scoot on down the road. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. I really enjoyed it. Tomorrow night we're gonna be playing some first edition AD&D. I hope you guys will join us for that. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Wednesday night, again, we're just gonna see what Kyle wants to do. Thursday night, maybe a guest. We'll have to find out. I need to nail that down. And Friday night is Gamma World. So I hope you guys will all stick around the week and enjoy it. But until then, everyone, please keep your fingers crossed, keep your eyes open, and do watch out for the owl bears. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in this little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action things to dancing things, just take me to the show.